Hey everyone, this is Abik here. I'm the CEO of Knowt. Today I wanted to give a very special demo of our brand new teachers platform on Knowt. I'm going to walk you through how the whole platform works, all the new stuff that we've added, and just give you, a brief overview of what is capable inside of Knowt today. So when I first create my account as a teacher, this is the first page I land on. It's my home screen. You can see that the design of the site has changed significantly if you've ever used it in the past. And if you haven't, well, we've made it very easy to navigate in general. This is the home screen. You have at the beginning something for you to create for your class. You can click here to open up your create menu. And then underneath that are actually your popular AI tools. So if you're coming over from a platform like Magic School or maybe School AI, these are probably pretty familiar, though the top three ones here are unique to Knowt itself. Before I jump into all of that, I want to show you how the side navigation works. You can actually navigate to your different tabs right over here. You have your home tab, which is the one we're on, materials, where all of your files live. So currently we have no files. Then underneath that you have saved. This is where all of the saved notes and flashcards would live as well. And then underneath that is your trash if we had any files deleted. We have a few other tabs as well. Explore. This is where you can go and see notes and flashcards. We have over 4 million. You can see them per subject, and you can filter through the different categories as well to find them. Or you could go here to exams, and these are all of our different offerings per exam. I'll dive more into exactly what is capable on this aspect in a few minutes. But first, I want to go back and jump back to the home screen here, and then just point us towards. Actually, we'll go towards classes. So you can actually set up your classes right here, and then you can also look at the AI tools tab. This is where all of our AI tools live. So if you remember at the beginning, a few seconds ago, I was just talking about how if you were coming over from Magic School or quizzes, or sorry, School AI, you are going to be looking for these AI tools. They are all available here. The top four right here are unique to Knowt, like I said before, but everything else pretty much on par with what you'd see in a different platform. So to get started, I would, I could jump into any of these platforms in any of these tools as well. But before I do any of that, I'll start up and create my class. So let's go to classes. It's pretty easy to set up a class. You just press create. So you could join the class as a teacher as well, but let's start by creating one. One of the big things that Knowt does unique to every other platform is actually the ability to create sections. So we'll set up a class for American history, and sections actually allow you to organize multiple periods or different types of classes that you teach under American history in one class. If you are a teacher who teaches a class at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., on the other platforms, you were creating three separate classes. On Knowt, you create one. And the way I like to use this is even to divide up like honors or AP level classes. So let's say this is regular, this is my honors section, and then this is my advanced placement or AP section for American history. And I'm going to go ahead and press create. Very simple setup. So you have your invite code right here. So you can actually invite your students with one code. So even if they're in regular honors or AP, it's one code, and then the students would pick which of the ones that they wanted to join. Underneath that, you have your class link. You could also do that. And then underneath that, you have your upcoming week. So this will show you your upcoming assignments for your students all in one spot. And you can see here you have access to your popular AI tools here as well. To show you around how classes work, let's go up here. This is your class material. So you remember earlier I showed you materials over here. Materials will actually show you everything across all of your classes and the files outside of your class. But this class material is actually going to show you only the material that is visible to your class. And you can filter by the different sections as well. So if you wanted to see, hey, what's shared with my AP class or what's shared with my honors class, you could do that. And, because you can do that, you can also distribute the material to different sections all within one class. So it makes it a very easy to manage and controlled solution. Above here, you have people. So this is where you can go in and invite any people. We haven't added any students to our class yet, but you can see that. And then you have your class settings. So to show you how class materials work, let's press create. This is going to show you all of the things that you could do inside of Knowt. So these are all of the AI tools. It's very simple to get started. Like I said, AI tools is more so similar to like a magic school. You can go in, so like let's say you wanted to do a lesson plan. So I can go in here and let's say I'm teaching about the Industrial Revolution. I can do that and I'm just going to go pull that up and then I can just say improve this for me, and I can set, okay, let's accept that, and then I can set a grade level. So let's say I'm teaching for the 10th grade, and then I can set a class duration. So let's say my class is 40 minutes. I can adjust additional criteria or standards, but I'm just going to go ahead and press create. Now it's going to create the lesson plan for me. One thing that we do differently from a Magic School or a School AI, we create the note directly inside of Knowt, and then you can actually go and edit it as well. So first, we have the note right here, or the lesson plan that we made, and then on the right, I have an AI assistant where I could make it more concise, make it more detailed. Let's say later or a few seconds later, I think, okay, I want it in Spanish, or I want my class lecture to be 25 minutes instead of 40 minutes. I can do that and it'll go ahead and adjust on the left side here. But I will show you how it looks like when I press create. And again, I can choose which section sees this. So I did this for like 10th grade, so I'm just going to say, okay, maybe it's my regular class, and I'm going to save it, right? So now I have my lesson plan here. I can fully edit this completely. We even have an auto type built in. So if I pause for a few seconds, it's actually going to start auto typing for me, and I can choose to accept or reject, regenerate, or just type whatever else I want. This is a great thing because it actually gets used to how you type the more you use it. Very, very cool. One of the best ways I've used to create stuff on Knowt. But the best benefit also is that I kind of view this like a Microsoft Word plus ChatGPT. So you have your notes right here that you can type and edit just like you would on a Microsoft Word. But you can actually click this and it'll slide everything over and give you that same AI assistant. This is super beneficial because I know there's a lot of teachers out there that they create something initially and then they might want to go back and revise after they get some feedback or it didn't work in their class. So now you don't have to go from Magic School, export it to Google Docs or Microsoft Word. Then when you want to make a change, go back to Magic School, then make a change, then go back to Microsoft Word. You could do it all inside of one platform, and that's one of the biggest benefits of Knowt. Now, this isn't a great example because we made a lesson plan, but you can actually create more than just a lesson plan in Knowt. You can create your own notes as well. So I'll go over to the Notes tab right here under our Create menu, and I can create from scratch, and I'll show you these other options after. But if I create from scratch, I can choose again which section sees it. So let's say I just choose regular. And now I can actually get started with a different type of material. So let's say I wanted to make a study guide on the Industrial Revolution. I can do that as well. So yes, I want to use AI, and then it's going to write out an entire study guide for me on the Industrial Revolution. And whenever I'm ready, I can click add to the note. I can ask it to make more revisions as well, but I'll go ahead and add this to the note right here, and I'll shift this over, and we'll title this note. Now, your students have access to this note. They can go in, they see the exact same view as the one you're seeing right now, and they can take a practice test on this. So they can choose the number of questions, the difficulty, but it's going to go ahead and actually create a practice test immediately from that note. And not only is it just like a test that you could just like print out or something, this is one that they could take right inside the platform. So I can go through and answer a few questions. I'll answer a few. I'm just going through these and guessing, but I can go ahead and press submit whenever I'm done. So let's answer it all. And then it will actually grade the test for me. So I got 4 correct, 3 incorrect, and then I could go down to the ones that I got incorrect as well. And I can even ask for an explanation as to why I got it incorrect. It's one of the best ways I've seen for a student to learn. And this is a great alternative to what exists out there in one spot. So that's Notes. That's how you can use the AI tools to create notes. When your students are taking practice tests, you can even check the class performance. So you can click on this, and then you'll see the average score per student, the average test time taken per student. You could even see each individual student's progress as they go through it. So really, really awesome. Let's go back to the course materials where we first started. and I'll show you how flashcards work. Now, for flashcards, you can create from scratch as well. So this is a great alternative to Quizlet. So you can actually import from Quizlet as well. It takes less than a second to import anything from Quizlet. So I can go ahead and show you that right now. Let's open up any set we have on Quizlet.com. So we have one for understanding the process of photosynthesis. So I'm going to go ahead and press the Chrome extension right here. And then I'm going to click no. And all right, we'll click open in Knowt, and then I can actually choose my class. So I'll import into my American history, and I'll just choose regular for now. In less than a couple seconds, it's actually going to bring over the entire flashcard set into Knowt with the images as well, so you don't have to lift a finger. Now you have all of the different learning modes, learn mode, practice test, spaced repetition, match, flashcards, all for free. It's one of the greatest ways students can learn. So let me show you how Learn works. So I'll go in here and just go through. Can answer questions. I can even ask for an explanation when I get something wrong. And you can see how quick it is to go through and learn right onside Knowt. One of the other benefits of Knowt also is that you can actually set study restrictions. So the same options that you just saw me see as a student, I can actually go and change and lock these. So students are pretty sly. They will come up with ways to get around studying, and they'll just turn on true and false. But now you can turn it off and be like, hey, I don't want you guys to ever change those settings. Really, really cool. It's one of the biggest features that we've had. And if you ever want to see statistics on how many students have studied, you can just click View Stats right here, and it's going to pull it up right here. It's just going to show you how many have not started, are in progress, almost done, or mastered. So this is a very easy way to get started. Let's go back to course materials. I've shown you ways to do it through manually and a little bit of AI, but some of the greatest ways that we have on our platform are create from a PDF, PowerPoint, or a video. So you can actually put in a PDF file. So I can start one right here. Let me go to my documents, and I will go to this photosynthesis PDF, and I can actually choose to create flashcards from it. I can choose regular, fill in the blank, question, answer. I could even do notes, but I'll show you how flashcards look. So once I press create flashcards, it will actually go through my entire PDF file, pull out the most important key terms and definitions, and actually pull it up on the left side for me. This way, I can always go in and make any adjustments I want. So this is my set that it's created. It's got about 17 flashcards. I have an AI assistant on the right side that I can ask to create more flashcards, rewrite them all in like Spanish or French. And then I also have access to my PDF. So you can see this was not an easy PDF to kind of go through. And it's pulled out information very well. And I can do the same thing with video as well. And we could share with all of my different sections, or I could even go back and I can share this, or I could create the same thing with a live recording. So I've seen teachers use this in so many different ways. Some people just pull it up at the start of class, and they can open it up on their phone, iPad, however they want to do it, but I'll pull it up right here, and it's going to actually start recording whatever I'm talking about right now. So this is a great way for you to just, create some stuff for your class without having to do much. So I'll press stop when I'm done, and then I can choose whether I want notes or flashcards made from this. So I'll make notes this time since we made flashcards last time, but it's the same concept. It's going to go through and I just talked about very little things. So it pulled that up and it gives me that same AI assistant. And whenever I'm ready, I press create. And now it is saved inside of a class, and it's saved as a note that I can go in and edit. Now, my students can also, if I'd like, see the audio and listen back to my whole recording and have a transcript. It's one of the coolest things that you could do on our platform. So that's notes, that's flashcards. Those are some of the AI tools that are not found anywhere else as well. And then one thing also that we just introduced is chat activities. The way I like to describe this, it's like giving your students, instead of giving your students a flashcard set or a study guide on the Apollo 11 mission, you can actually set up an interview with Neil Armstrong. So your students can actually learn about the Apollo 11 mission directly from him. So it's very easy to get started, and you can do a couple different things. We've set up templates here, or you could set this up however you want. I've seen English teachers set this up as a peer feedback. It says, hey, act as a friend reviewing an essay, and let the student submit my essay or submit their essay, and then let me review it. Very, very cool ways, but we'll start with the example of Neil Armstrong. So I'll say, hey, I want you to take on the role of Neil Armstrong, and then I will go ahead and select a grade, and then I will press create. Now it's going to set up my entire chat activity for me, and it's one of the coolest ways ever to learn information. So now I have this set up right here. So it's role playing as Neil Armstrong, historical perspective. So this is how the chat works. You can go ahead and make any changes if you'd like. These are some instructions that it wrote out. Now you can use this as an activity or an assessment for your students. We have an instant feedback toggle. So instant feedback means that as soon as they submit, they get feedback. That's more for activities. You can allow unlimited submissions. Now, if you turn that off, it can act as an assessment where they could just submit the chat, and then at the end of the assignment, the due date. So we could set a due date as well. At the end of the due date, it will actually just say, okay, everybody, this is your grade. Now, speaking of grades, we have the rubric defined down here. So your students can actually go, or you as a teacher can define this based on how you want your students to go through the chat. So we fill it out for you, but you can make any adjustments you want, and it'll grade the chat automatically. So you can adjust behavior, you can adjust the first message of the chat, you can even adjust the suggestions. So I'll show you a preview, and these are the suggestions that you see here. So you can actually steer the conversation in the direction that you want a student to go in, but it's really, really cool. So you can see here it says, hello, future space explorers. Welcome to our journey through history as we step in the shoes of Neil Armstrong. So we'll skip here. What part of Neil Armstrong's life for the space race are you most excited to learn about today? And so you can see these are some pretty great suggestions. I'll start with this, and it's going to go through and start giving me information, and then also asking me a follow-up question, which I can then go through. Whenever I'm ready as a teacher to distribute this to my class, I just click launch, and now it's sent out to my entire class. Whenever the grades are populated, I will see the breakdown right here, and I will even be able to jump into each student's conversation individually as they do it. It's one of the coolest ways ever to learn. It's one of the craziest ways for a teacher to give out, an engaging activity or assessment, and you can monitor the entire conversation. This is really, 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 really fun stuff. Now, this is classes. You can do a lot. Create notes, create flashcards, use our AI tools to lecture record live, to upload a PDF or a PowerPoint. You can create a chat activity. So many different ways to use Knowt. And then one of the other great ways that I had mentioned earlier, which was exams. So if you're an AP teacher or no AP teachers, you can actually go here. There's a bunch of resources set up. So I'll click on the AP Hub. We have AP material for almost every exam, and you can jump into any of these as you want. So we could go in, let's say AP Bio. We have cram sheets on each of the different exams. So you can go in how to answer AP Biology FRQ. It's got a detailed guide for you right here. And then you could see, if I go back, how many people have actually studied a lot of these materials. So it's one of the craziest ways I've ever seen for people to go through. This one has I believe about 597 reviews and studied by over 139,000 people. People have loved these. They've gotten fives because of our study guides. So we're really excited to share this with everybody. And not only that, but this is a free resource, and you can go up here and you can take multiple choice practice on the AP Bio exam. So I can start practicing. I can choose different units. So like, let's say I just want to do. Actually, we'll do all of them, and then you can choose difficulty level, so we'll do medium, and you can choose the number of questions on the test, and you can just press start. And then whenever you want to go in, it's a test that you can go through on biology, and if you get something wrong, you can ask for an explanation, for why you got it wrong. It's one of the craziest ways to learn. We also support this for all of the calculus exams. So if you go to Calculus BC, you can see we have study guides for that as well. And we've actually integrated with the College Board or the College Board calculator, which is Desmos, and you can see students get the exact same experience. So now you have a full graph, stimulus-based question, just like you would on the AP exam. It's one of the best ways for a student to prepare for the exam, and they even have the calculator right here if they need, similar to how they would on the exam. It's the exact same calculator. We'll be introducing a way for students to go in and take a full mock exam in a week or so, but this is AP material. So now you can do very, very, very cool stuff on Knowt. And there's a whole bunch like searching for content that I haven't covered, but that's a brief overview of how Knowt works. And I hope you have a great time using it. And if you have any questions, anytime you need, we have a help portal right here. You have help articles, or you could contact our support and I will be at the other end to help you out.